I'm Dave Cathy, the Food Dude. Today, Dory Greenspan's in town at Full Circle Bookstore promoting her new book, Around My French Table. She's the author of 10 books, including Baking with Julia. Come check her out today, 5 to 6:30 at Full Circle. Last night, we met with her at the tasting room where she talked about the new book. Dory, tell us about Around My French Table.
Well, it's my 10th book, and I'm so excited about it because I fell in love with France more than 30 years ago, the first time I went there. Kind of was angry at my mom that she had me in Brooklyn rather than Paris, and I spent the rest of my life making up for that. So this is a book about the food that I love in France, the food my friends make, and it's really, I look at it as a snapshot of what French food is today. So it's lighter food, it's brighter food, it's very, the ingredients shine in it, and it's kind of just it's my personal look at French food. Do you know, it's funny, I think we as Americans think of French food the way Julia Child taught us to, the wonderful, fabulous Julia Child taught us to think about French food. And her food, which is the food that we all learned to cook, I think, Julia published that book in the 60s, and she was researching it in the 50s and the 40s. So that food is 60 and 70 years old. And to me, it's fascinating. That food still exists in France, and it's still beloved. So there's always that base of traditional dishes. But now the food looks more recognizable to us as Americans than it ever has before. The French are traveling, the chefs are traveling, there's their own food network, there are magazines. So things are changing.
Well, tell us about your blog.
My blog, DoryGreenspan.com. It's I started it 3.5 years ago because a group had started called Tuesdays with Dory, and they were baking every Tuesday. They were baking a recipe from Baking from My Home to Yours, and I was just knocked out by what they were doing, and it was so exciting to see my recipes that I made in my kitchen being made by other people. And so I started my blog to really be in touch with them and be part of this community. And now I love working on my blog. So my blog is about my travels. It's about the markets that I go to. It's about the food that I cook at home. It's about recipes that I discover on my travels. And I love that it gives me a chance to really be in touch with my readers.